Welcome to the League of Extraordinary and Excellent Negroes. We're a podcast dedicated to nerdiness in all forms and how our love for this culture intersects with our experience as Black people. This intersection is home to our love of character and story and diversity and creativity. We're so excited to be on this journey with you. We hope to create a community for all blurs and nerds in general. We hope to add to the culture by discussing all things nerd from an Afrofuturist mindset. We want to discuss our love of nerd culture in a way that assumes Black people and all people of color belong, are valued, and add depth to the stories being told. Join us no matter where your nerd love takes you. We'll be discussing it all: Star Wars, Star Trek, board games and video games, TV moments, and movements in the culture with as much coolness as we can muster. And today, our topic will be the first episodes of Agatha All Along. Hey, team, how are we today?
Hey,
yeah,
Crystal.
I think we're good.
We'll get the energy up.
That intro was nice. That was
yeah,
nice,
you came with a
Crystal.
whole soliloquy.
Yeah, you
that
did.
Was nice.
Thanks, guys. So today we're going to start with our For the Culture topic, which will be celebrating an amazing event that happened on Saturday, AfroCon 2024. I wish I had some. Yeah, boom, 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 sounds.
Oh, yeah, get the horn.
I had a great time. It was really fun. It's so comforting to be in the presence of greatness. Jade, tell us about your vision and how you felt it came to fruition.
Wow, I didn't know you were going to ask me that question. I'm so tired. No, it was great. It was great. I try to keep as many things going at one time to fit so many diverse interests at one time, because I hate being bored when I go to events. And I figure if I do things that I'm interested in and keep all of those things around, then no one else will be bored either. Because I hate being bored when I go to an event.
It's
and I think
you said off the top made manifest. It's just a full day. Actually, for us, it was 2 because we also did the movie the day before, but just sharing space, having a good time. Yeah. Being super nerdy.
Yes. I really enjoy seeing grown people in positions that in the community have like so much cachet dressing up as characters from comic books and movies. I fully enjoy that. I was like, so that outfit's hanging in your closet next to your suits. Okay, I love it.
Yes. Our board president really surprised me because he is the president and CEO of the Urban League Nebraska. And he came as Blade.
Fully. Yes. Yes. And well done.
And everything.
And they put a little walk on a little bit, did a little. I said, okay, sir.
I've known Wayne for a long time, and I was blown away. I was not expecting that. I feel like he is indicative of what a lot of people feel now. Like, oh, I can do this. I've always wanted to do this. I can do this.
Yeah. And that's beautiful. Like, and that's a testament to what you're creating, is that there haven't been places that make it easy for us to just, I'm gonna wear a cape today. Or Alex had on a full-on bodysuit.
Oh, yeah, it was Cyclops.
He was Cyclops.
Yes. Put a show on. And then put on a show.
And then we have Blade and Cyclops fighting each other in pictures.
Yes. Like when and how. Yes. Marcus, you also gave a talk at AfroCon. How'd that go?
It went pretty good. I mean, we had a panel. We did Star Wars versus Star Trek, and came to no conclusions. Other than we don't want a crossover universe. And then
You said what?
Is it we don't want a crossover universe? That's all we figured out.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, me neither. Like I've never considered it, but also me neither.
Like, considered it for 10 minutes and instantly hated it. And just found more reasons to.
If Picard met Luke.
Yeah, it's just like we have nothing to discuss. The value systems are too different.
But I feel like that's actually happened in comics.
I don't know that it has. There was at least Star Trek and Doctor Who crossover in comics for sure.
Yes, but
it's possible.
Like,
I do also know
like that's happened.
They met the X-Men. It's very weird.
You did
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
There are other worlds in the comic books. There are all of these other worlds that have not been touched.
Well, Jade, I wanted us to talk about AfroCon because it is such a comforting experience and it is a place for people to feel, recognized and seen for their full potential. One of the conversations was like, it's where we discover we're not alone when we love the things that, people say aren't for Black people. And they were like, but all these Black people like it.
Oh, we got lost in the prototype lab. I mean, they had lasers and 3D printers and they have a UV printer. They printed on a golf ball. I'm like, okay, I'll be here. I'll be here a lot. That's a problem. I didn't need to know this was here. They have a 3D printer that prints pottery. Yeah.
It's a potter's box. Yep.
Giant CNC laser.
When I was in there, 2 people signed up for the pass while we were in there.
I'm getting 6 months as soon as I get my project materials together.
Yay! I love that. I actually do really love that because that prototype lab is like a hidden gem in the city and not enough people are utilizing it.
No.
You don't have to be a student to use it. It's open to the public. You just have to get a membership and they start at $25 a month. And you can do so many things. And it's just a beautiful space and everyone is so helpful. They were also excited to do workshops for AfroCon. And I'm so glad that people were utilizing it.
They have a vacuum form machine. Do you know I can make trays for my games?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is, but I'm excited.
Where the plastic molds down. Yeah, I had a great time. People in there had a great time. It was fantastic. I will also say my nerd reached a new level, but I know there's more nerd levels. Mine reached a new level of playing Dungeons and Dragons for an intro level of Dungeons and Dragons for hours. And I was having a ball. And I was like, I didn't know my nerd was this strong. I should have, but I didn't. And now
you should have.
Yeah.
You're currently hosting a podcast. I just want
to right. I should not have doubted the strength of my nerd, but
that also makes me happy.
Yeah, it was so fun. It was so fun. Stephanie, what were you gonna say?
The week before AfroCon, I was in California, Oakland specifically, talking about how excited I was for AfroCon. And the white people was like, AfroCon in Omaha, like that can't be. And it just reminded me of why this space is important for us, not for them. For us to be like, you don't have to be in Atlanta, you don't have to be in Oakland, you don't have to be in San Francisco to like find Black and brown community, because some of these things that we love are based in our culture that, like the tea, has been taken away. They're like, no, it's not for you. And it's like, who do you think that's based on? Like, that was us. So I talked about AfroCon a lot. And it was interesting to me that people were just like, so that it's for African people? And I'm like, wow, it's all up here. And I'm not going to get in the weeds with y'all. Like, it's cool.
Yeah. You're like, you've heard what I've said. You can deal with it how you want. That's such a good point, Stephanie. Like, there are things in our communities that we can build and that people have built for us to enjoy and come together. And we don't have to be like, I wish I was somewhere else, which, is easy to say, but there are places and people committed to making where we live a beautiful place. Marcus, this comment's for you, I think. I've changed on the Star Wars, Star Trek crossover, but only live action. So
Look,
I was like,
if they want to do animation, that's fine. But
okay.
it's
Funny. Well, thank you, Jade. Any final thoughts? We'll be doing it again in 1 year. Are you ready?
that's so sweet.
Are you ready to announce? Are you ready to announce?
Yeah.
But we want everyone to get ready.
Well, we do have a date for next year, but
Ooh, I knew you would. I knew you would.
I mean, it's Indigenous Peoples Weekend, so whatever that weekend is, that's it.
Okay.
That's we're rocking it. That's what it's been. That's what it's going to be.
I like it a lot. Well, thank you. All right, we can move into our question of the day. Hold on, though, guys. One day I'll get good at this, but I made this thing, so I want to show it. Ooh, question of the day. Question of the day. Worth it. Worth it.
I got both frames.
Yeah. Worth it. So our question of the day, because this show, Agatha All Along, spins directly off of Wanda, I want to know kind of what your feelings are towards Wanda at the end of WandaVision, but also knowing that she's in Doctor Strange. I almost said Doctor Strangelove, y'all. Are you sympathetic? Do you feel her pain? Did you forgive her a little bit? Or is she a villain now?
Wait, so we're not supposed to like villains? See now I'm confused.
Uh-huh.
So you're like, these are not mutually exclusive. These are not mutually exclusive. Tell me more, Stephanie.
Like, I don't know. Like, she needs some charges. She caused a lot of harm. It's like talking to a kid. Like, I get that your feelings are hurt, and I get that you're having big emotions, and there's going to be consequences. them the charges I'm talking about. You done caused some harm. Do I understand you? Yes. Do you need consequences? Also, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, yeah, put your hands down, ma'am.
I mean, Mr. Hart / what's her name? Because that's all I can remember now. He died.
Mr. Hart died. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
They were being terrorized in their brains.
Yeah. I mean, I think Wanda killed him. So
why do you think that?
People die.
Well, because he was. That was the episode in WandaVision where they were at the table, the dinner table, and she was choking him. He was choking. He couldn't breathe. And then Mrs. Hart says, in whatever that episode was, the second one, I guess, Wanda, stop. Let him breathe.
Mm-hmm.
That was her husband.
That was her husband. We ain't seen him since.
Mm-mm.
He's dead.
So,
yeah, Wanda killed him.
Dang.
Look,
Okay.
you should have got with the program. I gotta tell you.
Just look, what we need you to do.
Somebody's holding the sword of Damocles over your head, and you're just like, I'll do my own thing. It's cool. No. They got the power. You need to.
Listen, I have a strong abolitionist mindset, and Wanda needs some type of redemptive acts that she could do to some repair. What we're calling it? Something they said.
I know. I'm like, I
agree,
Stephanie. I'm like, I'm not sitting here. I'm not really for this jail life, but
okay.
Is there an island she can be on?
But we gotta have some.
Is there an island she can be on for a little bit? So we can talk about what these powers do.
I mean, the more I think about it, the more raggedy she is. I don't think that she is as villainous as she is portrayed in Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like that was a whole different departure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But she definitely needs some consequences for her actions at the end of WandaVision.
Yeah.
And she put Agatha in a spell for 3 years. So she the more I think about everything
she may not have learned her lessons here.
Yeah.
But it's not like Agatha's,
No, she's not
blameless.
No.
So restorative justice
And
needs to
I
happen.
don't know that you can. There's a prison you could put Agatha in. So I mean, this is kind of the next best option. But I
Just
don't
let her
think she
just-
should have been the judge.
Right, because she needed to prison
Like,
herself.
hey, you got another one of those?
Mhm.
I will say, like, I'm not sympathetic to Agatha at all, because girl, you came over here. Like, nobody was messing. You didn't have to be over here, sis. If you had just minded your own business, you'd have all your powers, and you wouldn't have been in a brain prison for 3 years. But neither here nor there. For me, Wanda, like, once I was like with her, but once she started like feeling that she was doing something and didn't immediately stop it, like it just dug deeper into the psychosis or whatever it might be, her vision of the world. That's when I was like, oh, you're losing sympathy with me, because I don't think she didn't do the original capturing of people like on purpose, but once she started seeing seeing it, and then I feel like she accelerated the birth of those kids so that she could stay deep in it. That's why I was like, oh, you're losing sympathy with me, girl. I was with you for a little bit.
I mean,
But Crystal, that's really real.
I get the grief.
Yeah,
but-
because I can't imagine, right?
Yeah,
Actions
but like
and consequences, though.
people don't always course correct really fast. Course correction is really, really hard.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's like the hardest task ever.
And I can't, and I don't know. Like I think once those babies were born, like we weren't beating, like she wasn't gonna be able to just choose the better path on her own. She needed the force of the weight of the city on her to
She need a
choose
black woman
to be like, girl,
girl, sis. No.
Yeah. We have a question. How many innocent people has Wanda killed? And we still want her.
I mean,
Marcus don't care.
Was it?
I mean, it's not even
Sokovia?
that. It's like, I don't even know. How are you gonna quantify it? And like, some of those are partial. I mean, the Avengers are responsible for so many.
Less people than Tony Stark, so it's less people than him.
Tony gonna say, and because he didn't offer health care,
That's true.
also
Hey.
responsible because he let Wanda sit in that room by herself at the very beginning of her arc after her brother died. Yes. I love blaming Tony Stark.
After the first snap, Tony went off and got himself some health care. He got himself full on whole family. And what happened? What happened to the rest of his team? He was like,
he's like, I'm in the woods now. I'm in the woods now.
Falcon
I tried to
didn't
tell
even get
him.
along.
I tried to
He
tell
didn't
him.
even get alone. He's selling plates.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Some may write. Some,
I love your work. Oh, you can't get alone. No. Mm-mm.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, no,
Right.
no.
Did you forget you were black? Moving on. So, yeah, he kind of forgot. He thought I was with the Avengers, though. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, thank you guys for sharing. So we know, we recognize the Falcon.
We remember, and that show was good. I don't know.
Yeah, I do.
The show is so good.
I really hope they do well with the movie. Anyway, but Harrison Ford's in it, so I stand behind most of his work. I don't know what that means because
I don't know what that means. I'm gonna unpack that later. I don't
know what that means. So let's never talk
get back
about
to that one after the show.
I'm never gonna. All right. Well, again, thank you guys so much. Now we're gonna chat about Agatha all along, and we're gonna do it in episode by episode, and then the overall episode format. So let's start with episode 1. I want to give a brief synopsis. So here's the question, though. When it opens, like, what confusion level were you at? Because I was at a 10. And what was your favorite movie? And what questions did you have after? So when it opens, we have Agnes. Yes, Agnes. A copper who's been taken off suspension, and she has to investigate a mysterious death. We do immediately see like some repeat characters from WandaVision, and also leads to my level of confusion at a 10. And so, yeah, what was your favorite episode or favorite moment in this episode?
while.
My favorite moment in the episode is when her black neighbor says water.
Can we talk about? I want to say Herb. I really loved his time on screen. It was so fantastic. He was like, he couldn't look at her because she's naked, and he's like, "You seemed really into true." He was being so. It was such a good casting. So authentically, you just seemed really into true crime, and she was like. So I was just spouting nonsense, and I was like, and I was like, in his most black.
You was bringing your groceries.
Yeah. But he was basically like, that was not my business. We did what we could to support you, and the rest was on you because you kind of mean.
Yeah,
that's a great observation, Jade. What about you, Marcus? What's a favorite? Oh, Stephen, go ahead.
Never mind. We'll go, Marcus.
No, I'm agreeing with Jade. It's like the spell is broken. What are you gonna do now? It's like, that was just a wild way to start. I did
wonder what having her be in 3 years, and whether this will go into Marvel Universe connection, and where it will fit since it's 3 years post. So she's missed Doctor Strange's movie, right?
Clearly, yeah. That's how come she was able to get out in the first place. Because Wanda is not around to keep the spell going.
Well, I think it's the end of that movie.
Right. That starts allows her to get out. Okay. Yes. Okay. What was your favorite, Stephanie?
I was thinking about the first part of the question where you were like your confusion level, and I was like on a scale of 0 to the Nevers, because the Nevers season finale, I'm still confused about what was happening. So I wasn't that confused. I was like, cool. They told us it was going to be a standalone show, so I was not confused. I was like, you're going to explain it eventually. I thought that the music was my favorite character. The music in every episode. I don't know what theater kid created this show, but I'm here for it. I love it. The music was so good. The little scene in the library was cool. I was like, what's happening? It made more sense than the Nevers. That was the most confused I've ever been in my life.
He said, as long as you don't get there, you're all right. As long as it's not that. Okay.
It's when it got to its 10th minute and you had to like pause and make sure you started the right show that you're like, yeah, that one.
Marcus,
was wild.
I restarted it twice. I was like, I must have put the wrong show on.
I clicked the wrong show. Yeah, well.
Are you guys talking about the Nevers though, or this one?
Nevers. No, this was fine.
Okay. I was like, it wasn't.
No,
it wasn't that confusing.
I am down to be completely dropped into something. That's great. Let's do it. I will pick it up later. I can do that. So
yes, okay. Tony in the comments is on my side. He said make it confused too. So that makes me feel a little better. I was like, am I crying? I also was like, what is this personality type she's giving us? Like I couldn't get like who is this character? And like her tough girl was like coming off weird to me. Did anyone else feel like her tough girl was weird?
It was I don't know the show. I don't remember the show, but it was one of those true crime shows that's been recent. And I forgot who the lead was. The girl from Titanic? Okay.
Something from Mar something Pennsylvania, Water. I don't know.
Let's keep going, guys. You are losing us.
Because it was a blend. It was like Pennsylvania, it was like Philly and Baltimore. So it was fusing in different shows into that one scene. Mara of Eastwick. Is that right?
That is correct. Because Chris was like, y'all are crazy. I'm like, no, that's the whole show.
Yeah. No, I believe. No reference. But go ahead. So you're saying this one mirrored that? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Agatha did. Tough girl. Sorry, I was like, One of my favorite moments is when she's coming out of the spell and she goes through all of the eras of WandaVision's show through the clothes.
Yeah,
that was really clever way to like show us the connection without having to know any of that part. Yeah, I don't know. That was my favorite part of of episode 1. You guys, and then I also was like, Catherine Hahn must have studied Elizabeth Olsen's hand movements because they are really well done, in my opinion. I'm like, it's not distracting in the same way. What else do you guys have about episode 1 before we move on? I'm done mostly talking, which is weird.
I love Aubrey Plaza.
I have always loved Aubrey Plaza.
Rio, Stephanie has some feelings on her face.
Oh, I was here for it. Like, and I love their little banter. They were given some type of, and I was like, "Are they? What's happening?"
A little tension.
I'm here for it. Disney needs to like go ahead and just
give us everything.
You can get past a kiss on the cheek and like a movie, and like that was something. So I was here for it.
Okay. So at the end of this episode, what are your immediate questions? What's the first thing you want to know in episode 2?
Just start it. Just play episode 2. Like
I didn't even wait. No, I was just they dropped those episodes at the same time. I'm like, and we're moving on. Let's go.
Yeah, I didn't stop to think about anything except.
Yeah, there was no pause because they dropped them both. Yep.
Okay, that's so funny. Okay, so let's move into episode 2.
And I watched it so quickly that I didn't even catch that she was changing each time. I missed that.
Really?
I watched. I had to go 3 times.
Wow.
The third watch is when I started to catch all the little things that I was looking away or not paying attention.
Right.
AfroCon, but I watched it again. I watched the whole thing again the other day.
So, and we're gonna go back and talk about some of like the things that I caught on the second watch that I was like, ooh, that was tiny but clever. And then we'll see if you guys, if you caught things that I didn't catch the first watch. So episode 2 is she's made it out of the spell. She's got a little sidekick. What is she? Her familiar? Is that what they call it?
Team,
yeah. And the bad guys are immediately here. They're ready for her, and they're they said hot pursuit to get away from the Salem 7. I don't know if we know that yet. And then the coven, meeting the coven. How did you like that introduction?
That song was so fire. Like, skip to the end. That's
okay, y'all like we don't
want movie ever.
Yeah.
Oh, so one of my favorite scenes before we skip to the song is when she goes to the car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? When she goes to the car and she's like in the house.
Oh my God!
Yes. That's hilarious.
Third watch, I caught that one because.
And she's like,
she's
like, this is not a car.
You know what? I'm not gonna do this. Practicing. She was like, you know what? I'm gonna let you drive.
I lost it.
That was really
like
good.
Myself. Yeah, I was like, that was so funny. Yeah. Oh, and then when they're walking past, they're walking past to the car or whatever. They walk past where Wanda set off the spell.
Yeah.
And she like spits on the house.
Yeah.
And again, I was like, Agatha, I don't know how you could be so mad. You probably should find yourself.
And that was a real spit.
3 years.
She was real mad.
3 years.
Yeah. That was a real spit. That wasn't a That wasn't one of those.
You didn't forget.
She was mad for real, and I was like, "But sis, if you have managed your own business, I don't know."
That's not what we do here.
Yeah, you're trying to make it rational, and I'm gonna need you to sit in fiction in chaos.
Like
fiction and
chaos. A Katamari ball of increasing power. Okay, it's just right in somebody a little bigger.
I'll also say I thought collecting the coven was really like an interesting insight into Agatha's character. When she's being persuasive, she's very scary. I was like, I don't
she didn't give them options. They were all coming. They were all coming.
Even without powers, she's like, yeah, you're coming with me.
Yeah, I was like, I don't like. She got comfort.
But Team did a good job. Team's like, wait a minute, aren't you being sued? I was like, Team, you are using the internet and you are petty. And
and then he's got I was like, where did he write out all these addresses to be able to just be like, got it for you? Here's the address.
It's interesting. He showed up at the same time as all these villains looking for her. Just saying,
I that's one of my questions. Who is Team? I like episode 2. I'm very like already. I'm like, who is? I mean, even the like at first, just the what do they call it? The sigil or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's like didn't didn't intrigue me, but then he's like just so ready for everything.
That intrigued me immediately. I was like, oh,
right.
Oh, what are we doing
That's the
with
only reason
this?
I watched episode 3. I was like, who is Team? Like, that's actually what's pushing me forward in the show.
Okay.
I knew he was one of 2 people and not Mephisto.
Yeah.
Say it again, Jade.
I knew he was one of 2 people and not Mephisto.
Yeah.
He was either her son or somebody else's son.
Yeah. Well, he got to be somebody's son, correct? That
We're not there yet.
Okay. I appreciate you. I appreciate you following the rules.
But
okay, so let's
Okay, hold on, Chris. But he had an actual life, which was interesting. Just when like his boyfriend calls and he's like, "Yeah, he worries about me," and I'm like, "You docked in from somewhere and you showed up, and now you're like all in for a trip down the Witch's Road. Like you don't know none of the words of the song, but you ready to go." I had questions.
I have questions. Yes, I am very intrigued by what his character will, which obviously by the end of episode 5, it's very intriguing. But even by episode 2, I'm fully invested in figuring out his character.
And other than the older woman, he knows everybody else. So he's been studying.
Yes, and that could be innocent, but it's not.
It's not.
Crystal, I appreciate that you don't care about that song, but Jada Marcus, hear me when I say
no, we're getting to it.
That performance was epic, and
I mean,
it overtook the rest of the episode for me. I was like, I can't take the rest of y'all seriously again.
Everyone agrees with that.
I mean,
everyone's favorite moment is the
look.
Song
they got one Emmy, and then like, fine, all our songs are going to be absolutely fine. We are committing to it up front as a core of this show.
It was
give him the awards. Give him all of the awards.
Yeah, Stephanie's like, yes, I'm into the music.
Bring me a Broadway star immediately for this show.
Oh my God!
I was asking for a musical, but that's what they gave me. I was showing up for this.
That's hilarious.
And they got down. Oh.
I had to check myself because I said, wait a minute, I'm a little too invested in this song.
You're not gonna put it on your iPod.
It's on my phone.
Like I want to hear this song several times, and I need to hold on. Let me do some prayer.
Jay, let's talk about how very serious the witchy vibe is, and how I had to be like, remember, I understand this is fake. I should not be this scared. Which is just a testament to how well crafted this show is. That I am seriously be like, can they cast spells on me through the TV? I just don't know for sure.
I don't sing the words of the song, so I'm like, I ain't conjuring nothing.
That's why I'm like, I don't want any doors to open. Actually, I don't actually want the doors to open.
Right.
So I wish Alex was here for this because I love the song, but when the door appeared, I was like, should the door have appeared? If the rules of them is that they need a full coven.
Good question.
I don't know if the door should have appeared. What say you?
Well, my thought was they were a full coven. Even though Mrs. Hart, even though she wasn't a witch,
she was all in.
She was all in, and they needed a green witch. She was out in the yard all the time, working with her garden and flowers, and she really, I felt like they're trying to say that it's not something. Okay, this is where it gets a little. It's not something that you have to buy into all of it to be a witch. Anybody can be that when it is needed.
You know,
that's what I thought they were saying.
And there is a like a tiny nod to the like connection of how women were burned at the stake as witches. And if we think about what that means in history, like there's a little bit of that in the show too. So I can get down with that like powerful women, no matter kind of what they are presenting to the world, could be perceived as witches.
When
Okay,
they come
Jade.
together, they be like, "Oh, it's a bunch of witches."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Jade. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right.
Because those were just the women that were not following the rules.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I agree
Okay.
with Tony. It's the most diverse group of characters. I loved it.
Okay. So then we get on the road. Okay, so this is the other part. I wish Alex was here because he mentioned this to me too, that he feels like Agatha made such a quick switch to being like, I'm for the road, when before she was so anti the road. And I was like, I don't think she really thought they were gonna get onto the road. I think she thought she was gonna bring them together, make them hate her because she's very good at it, and then she'd be able to steal their power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, that's what you guys all thought too?
Yes.
She's like, so now I have to do this. Okay, fine.
Yes.
Let's go.
But it was either that or face the Salem 7, and she is scared.
Yeah.
She does not want to face them.
I really am interested in that too. Yeah, especially without powers.
Right.
I'm very interested in, we'll get to that too, but I'm very interested in like.
What was the part about her not being able to be killed? That was like new for me. And I was like, wait, why are you scared if they can't kill you, girl? Like, what?
I don't think Rio is a witch. I don't know what she is, but we'll talk about that. But I don't think Rio is the same as the rest, because I don't think she can't be killed. I think Rio can't kill her.
Yes.
That.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know, but it also could be like their personal relationship too, because they definitely have one.
They together.
They have an agreement. I don't know this for sure, but I feel like they have an agreement so that Agatha can't kill her, but I don't think she could even if she tried. And
can we talk about when she did when they were fighting and Rio did the full body stand up? I was like, whoo, okay, back to what you were saying.
Yeah, Rio she's not a witch.
Yeah, something is up with Rio.
That was
okay. So yeah, we end with them on the road. Episode 2 ends with them on the road. And that leads us to episode 3, where we get our first trial. We get them moving through the road, and we get our first trial. We get to see Jin, our favorite, Jade's first cousin, in action. I loved it. First of all, Miss Hart, I was not sure at first if she might be a witch and was not embracing it, but she definitely wasn't. But she was very funny to me.
Yeah, well,
she was a great character to me.
She was funny and honest. The only honesty you're gonna get out of that group is gonna come from
that's a good
not
point.
Mrs. Hart.
When she was like, I'm calling the police because this is a kidnapping. I was like, you waited a little too long.
And then she's like, I'm gonna drink this wine. Fine, bye.
All of it.
And she said, I had a bad day.
I had a bad day. Don't judge me.
Yeah. I loved it. I really loved Miss Hart. So in this episode, because Jen was kind of our main protagonist, I think they did a good job showing her relationship with Agatha, and I was like, what's their particular animosity? I was wondering, what do you guys feel?
I wasn't worried about that.
Okay.
I was like, is Jade gonna cry? This is really scary. I was concerned that it was gonna be too scary for Jade.
Jade hallucination.
She was. But for whatever reason, I'm not bothered by this. I'm not.
For the first time ever. I am like, oh my goodness.
Even the last episode, which was really dark, I've seen them multiple times because it's really good.
Yeah. That's good.
I think the thing in that episode that stood out between Agatha and Jennifer was when Jennifer is really questioning herself. It's like, I can't do this. And Agatha's got her snap out of it moment. And she was like, I've always hated you, but I left you alone because you were doing the work. It's like, ooh, what was
that? Was a scene. That was a scene.
Marcus, what was your feeling about Jennifer and the witches coming together in this one?
I like that it's set like the format of what the show's going to be. We're going to have a week for everybody. And we're going to do a little showcase. Yeah. We're going to do a trial. Yeah. We're going to do a showcase. We're going to do some character study. We're going to do some development. And we're going to get Mrs. Hart out of this. She's a fun character. She's your little audience insert. Like, hey, this is not normal. You guys are not normal. Why do you think this is fine?
Yes, that's so funny, Marcus. But she's out. But she's got to go.
She's out. We don't need a week for her. She had her week.
She sang the song. I was very much reminded of what caused folks to be called a witch, like understanding of science and herbs, and like, oh my god, this is so complicated. And this is like, do you mean witch hazel? Like, so that like, all of those little things, I was just like, oh, like they demystified some of the very simple botany type things that are just like, oh, and now she's a witch. I do like that her products were not 100% natural. They were like,
yeah, they were.
They were like, girl, what? You're right. So it was just very sciencey to me, and I appreciated that.
I did enjoy it. Yeah, like, that was a funny moment. They were like,
"Is it?
Yeah.
It's all natural. Or it's going in."
I know a snake oil salesman.
Does it have petroleum in it? Yeah, drop it in the bag.
Just a little bit.
I will say in this episode, I was like, I know Agatha is evil, but I can't believe she drinks the wine with everybody. I was like,
no, she's just not. She's not about. She's like, that's y'all problem.
Yeah,
y'all enjoy that problem. I see that there's a problem with them.
Dying.
She's also scared.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's. I think she's genuinely scared.
She's genuinely scared.
So she doesn't.
Did you got that from this episode?
Yes, when she wouldn't drink that wine. Because she didn't know what was going to happen. Agatha doesn't like to do things that she can't control. So if it's out of her control or her understanding, she's like, let me just sit back and see what's going to happen.
And when she pulled her hair over her face so they couldn't tell that she got drunk, I was dying. I said, she a quick thinker. She ain't right, but she's smart.
I loved it because they're like, no. She's a full villain, you guys.
Yeah. Yes.
We're a group.
She's like, y'all a group. I'm just with y'all until we get to the end. I was gonna say, so once they pass the trial and the oven opens, I said, this show is so unserious.
It was giving Hansel and Gretel. I was not prepared.
Really
what are we doing?
As soon as and then when Lillian was like, I had a friend where this happened to her, I was like, this show is so unserious. I was like, okay, y'all gonna play in our face like that? And there's like, yes. And more is coming.
Yeah. You do that when you look at the credits. When you look at the credits, they got every witch you've ever seen in pop culture that they own the rights to.
Yeah. Yes.
I know. I did enjoy that too. My favorite is they have Mims in there, Madam Mims. I was like, that's a deep cut.
My favorite is they've got Lisa Simpson with a witch hat on, and I'm just like, really? You just like, no, we own that too, just so you forgot.
This is a good question, Tony. We'll come to it at the end. That's a really good question.
It's very possible.
Okay, so any other phase from Jennifer's episode 3? Oh, before we go any further, any other favorites? But I want to talk about the titles of the episodes and how it is mimicking the song. And that took me again.
Is that the lyrics? Is that what's happening?
It's the lyrics of the song. So this one's through many miles of tricks and trials. Look, I might know the song, y'all. And
I'm trying not to know the song.
Oh, wait, no, you understand that you will never go to another Comic-Con where there's not going to be people who know the song and performing the song in a group. As soon as you see 3 witches together, that song is coming out.
We're gonna have to be like in a hocus pocus where cover your ears, okay.
But I do like Agatha's coat.
Oh,
that's
great.
A nice coat.
The coat is doing so much.
If she flips that coat one more time.
The flourish. It's the flourish.
Yes,
I love the flourish.
My favorite is when she like takes off down the road and then with the coat and nobody follows her, so she has to come back and she's like, let's go. She flourishes it again. I said, you are so unserious.
I feel like the costumes are like an additional character. So for me, the title is a thing.
Yeah.
Then the costumes are a thing. And I'm just like, ooh, like y'all have built
Such a
something
world. Yeah.
really interesting
Yes.
in a short amount of time. Like you get like a 30-minute episode, and you're like, oh, the costumes and the music and the title did the work.
Very well done. Yeah, clearly.
I love it.
Oh, and this is the episode where they see glimpses of their past.
Yes, the hallucinations.
The hallucinations. And Jen sees this doctor that has stripped her of her powers.
And we're still not sure how he did that.
Yeah, we don't know. But yeah, I'm interested in what the hallucinations are like foretelling, and also Lilia's outburst and what they might be foretelling.
Oh, yes. I think Jen's stripping is her confidence. That's what he took from her.
Like she still has
Which
her
makes
powers.
really
she
good
just can't
sense.
access them.
Yes, because based on what she's able to do in the later episode with Teen. Come on, Jade. Okay, we like it. That takes us to episode 4. The coven reaches their second trial. So this is her name's Alice's trial. Yes, Alice's trial. Let's also mention the period pieces are fantastic. I very much enjoy being able to like see them and Lilia's tribute to Eliza Minnelli. Great.
Oh,
loved it. What do you guys think of this episode? This is where we get her first coat twirl.
The coat twirl was everything. I think this is the episode where it actually was like, oh, these are grown women. Like they're not serving up like little teens, young people. Like, these are grown women, and I am just enjoying the fact that these are grown people, and that made me happy. I was like, oh, these are grown ups.
Yeah. I like, and to Marcus's point earlier, like full characters.
Yeah.
You know, I have like just watching this show. I know for me, I realized that Marvel hasn't done a really great job of having women as full characters in the rest of their media. And it's like, we're going to tell more than one woman's story at once. That seems like too many. I don't know.
And grown women, right?
It's just like they get to have the screen.
Yeah.
And
it's literally yes. This passes the blood. What is the test? The Bechtel test, right? Seriously, without any trouble. Jade, what'd you feel about this episode? Another musical endeavor.
Yes, the song I was like, stop trying to sing this song.
Oh,
this is the same song.
They gave you a new version though, so now they're just fully committed.
But wait a minute. Then, as Alice is singing the song and playing the piano, and you realize that this song is a protection spell that her mother put on her. Why did I get misty?
Because that was a love move.
That's so deep.
And it's like indicative of just how tough relationships are with mothers, you know, like she just, you know, trying to protect her without telling her the truth. And she's feeling so traumatized. Earlier we find out about the tattoo she got at 13, you know, and the way she like explains all this is my mother wasn't well. And you're like, no, your mother was very well. She was just being attacked by a demon that flies and kills your family. So,
would you like to see it? It's here.
Yeah. So I think she was doing a pretty good job with all that.
Yeah, I think these trials are very clever because it lets them change all of the costuming.
Yes.
And it kind of calls back a little bit to how WandaVision was going through the eras. They're doing a similar thing. And it's not exactly the same, but
but I do enjoy that. Like, yes, I like that. I like that it's not a real connect or not a, you know, like a one-to-one connection, but it's still universy in a way. I skipped right over Rio appearing out of the dirt and scaring us half to death. And then skipping down the road like she's Dorothy.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
I love Aubrey Plaza.
I do.
Very on brand.
But in the house, when it's just the two of them, do you notice that she says that Agatha says to Rio, "You're too early."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "What for? What? What's that mean?"
Oh, for that fight we were gonna have, and she doesn't have her purple back yet. You know.
Oh, okay. Simple as that. That makes
I
sense
think
to me.
so.
Because I'm like, are they in cahoots of some sort?
No,
Okay, I like it. I like
they,
that.
I
They have
theory.
unresolved issues.
I have a theory about who she is.
Say more. Say.
I don't know. It's kind of spoilery.
Only if you're right.
Sure, or is it a theory?
Only
or
if
is it
I'm right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if you notice, every time they talk about death, Rio has a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they talk about death.
That might just be because she had to do some dirty business.
No, I think
It's a bad outfit right there.
I
But
think
that's what I was thinking too, and especially in the one where they're in the Misty, like Teen is dying, and she looks up at Rio and
she's
says,
like,
"Don't."
no. She right. Don't. Rio is death.
Interesting.
I clocked that. I clocked their interactions, and I was like, "What? How could? What does Rio got to do with him dying?" So I'm with you, Jade. But
And
how?
every time they act, every time they are in a situation where everyone is freaking out and scared, Rio is cackling. She is.
Well, yeah, it's just Rio's.
But I was like, that could just be
He's
because she's
disturbed,
Looney
yeah.
Tunes.
I think Rio's just a lunatic, so
Yeah.
she might
Yeah.
just be a full-time freak. I enjoy it.
That is a new sentence I'll be using. Are you a full-time freak, sir? I'm going to be saying that.
Oh my God.
No breaks. No breaks.
Okay. I do think this one intrigued me all over again about Teen, like her very sincere reaction to him almost dying. I said, wait, who is this kid? And then we find out immediately it's not her kid.
That's
So
what
then I'm
she was
even
thinking.
more.
Okay,
Yeah.
but how did Jennifer know about this kid? Like, that was a moment for me where I was confused. I'm like, Jennifer, how much past y'all got? Like, I can't imagine
It's just common knowledge.
Agatha would just be telling everybody.
Yeah, but I guess I wonder too, because it was for the dark hold. So if that's like a witch artifact, then everyone probably knows like where it might be and how it got there, kind of thing. But I also agree with you, Stephen. I do think like they have something that an inciting event amongst them too.
Oh, missed a part. Well, when Lillian, Patty LaPone's character, sees Jennifer and she says, "High Priestess."
That's true.
Yes, I did miss that, Jade. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so I've been saying this. I'm like, this show has so many things they need to tell me, and I feel like they need to tell me now. I don't want to wait anymore.
I am so patient. Like, we're gonna get it. They're gonna give it to us, and then we'll have to watch it all over again as soon as the last episode.
Multi-layered.
It is what it
is. And that takes us to episode 5, our last one for the day. This is them. They've left the trial. They're on the road again, but the Salem 7 have also arrived.
The full-time freaks have showed up.
Yeah, I mean, they have made revenge their lives. It has twisted their bodies and their minds.
It has sustained them. Yes.
That's why you have to kill the bloodline. You have to end the bloodline.
Right. Finish what you started.
And then we get to the next trial. Okay, before we get to the trial though, when Teen's like brooms and they're all like, "Oh my God!" I was like, again, this show is so
camp. It's so camp. I love it.
But if you listen, the one person that says yes is Jennifer.
Oh, and I gotta watch it again.
They're all like, "No," and she's like, "Yes."
I was like, y'all are so unserious. And then but then we get to Agatha's trial. And it being a sleepover, I don't know what, like, partly just so they can do the Ouija board, but there's something like contradictory with her being the sleepover where it's like sisterhood and girl time being her theme. I thought was just very like contradictory because she's
Now,
anti all
that's the other
things.
thing. Did they pass it or did they just let them out? Because I
I don't know that they
it doesn't
passed it.
feel like they passed that trial.
Well,
It feels
yeah,
like
that
they
one.
ended that trial.
Well, he does, at the end, Teen does move the Ouija piece to goodbye after he says
Sure.
Nicholas Scratch. So that was
Yes.
like how they ended, and that's when it popped open. But also, who is Nicholas Scratch? Why does the mom hate him? I will say, how'd you feel about the mom's appearance? What do you guys think about mom's appearance?
I think that I don't think that they just bypassed that trial. I think that she was tortured. She was punished in that trial by her mother and by the mention of Nicholas Scratch. So I feel like it all came back and she had to confront it. And now everybody is seeing what she went through. I feel like there's more to this story between her and her mom and what actually happened.
Yes.
Because the way Rio steps in a way that she's never stepped in before,
stressed.
like she can't have her.
Yeah. Yeah. And even the mom being like, you were born evil. I was like,
I should have killed you. I mean, I'm like,
you're absolving yourself of a lot of responsibilities here.
Yeah, that's exactly. And I'm like, when did you start telling her that? Like, how old was she when the first time you told her she was evil and you should have killed her?
Yeah.
And then, so I was like, oh God, now I have sympathy for Agatha.
No.
Still none?
Restorative justice. No,
none, but boy, it's not the balance of the scales. They just barely, no, they're going right.
He just told us her villain arc. It's like, oh, this is like why you have no regard for human life at all. Yeah, you're just proving
you
a
like
point.
Easy. You are still the villain.
And she said, "This is why." And people ask me why I don't have female friends.
That was the line. That was the line.
I was like, it has nothing to do with the way you just kill people a lot. You don't got nothing to do with that.
Look, if you don't want me to kill you, don't put yourself in a position where you could die. To my benefit.
That's on you.
That's on you. You knew I was a snake.
How you gonna get if you get bit, you get bit. That's funny to me. Oh, I did want to mention they put Teen in them tiny shorts, and I said, why? Why y'all do that?
What in the Charles Barkley was going on there? I don't know.
Exactly.
The time period. I mean, the time period they were trying to show.
That's how short they were.
That was the fashion at that time.
I know. I was mad about it. Then we get a sad turn of events. When Alice goes to try and save Agatha, and Agatha...
She succeeded. Look, actions have costs. You might not have been willing to pay.
What is...
I'll tell you what it means. When I was in college, I got a credit card. It had a $500 balance limit. Okay. And that was to protect everybody involved. They know you don't know nothing about credit, and the interest rate on this is... I don't know. You get a calculator, you do like this, and then when it goes over, it stops. That's how you know how much credit you got. Look, actions have consequences.
Oh my goodness,
and
Marcus.
The costs can't be steep.
And it was. Jade, how'd you feel as Alice did what she's supposed to do as the protection witch?
I'm torn because I don't know. Part of me thinks that Agatha can't control what happens because it's not fully her doing it. But she's gone so long thinking that she was the villain that she leans into it.
Maybe.
As a way to, deep.
I wonder about that too. Because as soon as she was done with it, she didn't exactly look remorseful about it, but I don't know if she was capable of showing that level of vulnerability.
Right.
And she didn't move to go over there. And he was like, get back, don't touch her, so.
Yeah.
But it feels like the sigil to me, like this thing that's happened to you, and like you can't, like it's on you. So like I feel like there's something on her the same way as something on Teen. Maybe she's a weaver. I don't know, but calling him familiar is the best part.
Yeah, but that like puts it. It's like a double-edged sword, though. If we think of it as she can't control it, and she's just been placed into the villain role, and the only way for her to protect herself is to embrace that.
Oh no, she's a villain. She a villain.
Yeah, but I think it does like because she goes out and she's crying, and she's feeling things, but then she revels in the little bit of power she has for a second. And I'm like, gross, because you got that off a dead woman. And then
she can't.
But then out comes Teen, right?
Yeah.
What'd you say, Stephanie? I'm sorry.
I said she can't use that power no more. So
Yeah. I mean, like, she had her episode. We told her story, and now she's just kind of in the way. And from the writers' room, it's like, you know what? That's one less person you have to write.
I don't think she's gone. I don't think.
I don't either.
I don't think so either.
I don't think Mrs. Hart is gone either. I think they come back.
I wrote Miss Hart out, but I thought we were gonna get.
No, they're in the waiting room. There's a waiting room somewhere. We're in the green room.
Oh,
but I was like, but then I was like, sympathy. It's so sad if she can't control it. If that's true, I don't know what she's supposed to do with her life. Except maybe not taunt people into giving her their power. But other part is as soon as Teen says something crazy to her, she turns into the villain.
She's never not the villain.
Okay.
That's true.
Even when she has a tear in her eye.
It's a fine line. It's a fine line.
She feels things.
Yeah.
You look like your mother. Ooh. Okay. We can't be surprised she said that. Given her mom was like, I should have killed you early in the episode. Like, just her communication style.
Yeah, it was tough. Yeah, and then let's talk about what we get at the end of episode 5.
You should see me in a crown. Oh my goodness. That song. Oh
not the music. Not the music being the star.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, is this a real song? I don't even know. But it's by Billie Eilish, and that voice choice, and I was like, I'm not comfortable again.
Oh, the songs at the end of the episodes have been perfect choices every time.
Yes. And then his little power starting. And it took me a second to figure. I didn't understand that he was controlling Jen and Lilia.
Yes. Controlling
their eyes.
Yeah.
Turn blue.
Yeah.
The same color.
Yeah, because the eyes flashed. It took me a second. I was like, why would they be on here? Like, when did they form this plan? And I'm like, oh, they are not in the plan.
They are not a coven. They are actors.
They are tools. Conduits.
You know what? I haven't heard music this good since Dickinson. Remember how like wild that soundtrack was, and like just how it was like, oh, this is telling a story. This feels very similar to that.
Interesting. Energy. Yeah, the music is like emphasizing all of the points it needs to like pump up. And when we see him with the magic crowd, I said, "Oh, sir, I'm uncomfortable again." After he throws everyone in the pit.
Look.
Yeah. I couldn't. I have no idea where we're going.
He's read all the books, but sometimes the chaos just comes out. It's like, you know what? I don't even have to work at it. It's just happening.
Okay, so here's some. So on my second watch, here's some things I noticed. The baby's room in episode 1, when she's still in the dream. Mm-hmm. It didn't until we get later into the season. I'm like, what's this baby room supposed to mean? And now we know it's part of her mind palace. She had a baby and she did not raise it.
Okay, Sherlock with the mind palace.
Yeah. Thanks for clocking it. And then episode 2. What did you guys have any things that you're like now you're thinking back to after you've finished all 5 that caught your attention on from episode 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or 5?
Crystal, I have never seen you this geeked about a show. So first of all, I want to be like, Crystal likes this show.
And having a great time. I'm having a great time.
I'm very happy. I'm happy watching you be happy. It's
Okay,
great.
I appreciate it. So in episode 2, when Lilia writes the names of the coven, and one's a black heart.
Yeah.
And then later, and I'm like, I'm along for the ride that it is Miss Hart the first time I watch it. I'm like, oh okay, that makes sense. You picked it up right away?
I knew immediately that wasn't her. Because, like, first of all, that's not her name.
Though?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's Aubrey Plaza.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, it took me a watch. What about you, Jade? What about you, Stephanie?
I rewound it in the moment. I was like, nah. As soon as she ate it, I was like, nope. Rewind. That's a very extreme option. And let's circle back right now.
Oh, and I should have thought of that too, because if it was just Miss Hart, why would you eat that?
That's not a rational choice.
Yeah.
Ma'am.
Yes.
It is if you like control. It's like, only I have the information. Good luck getting it.
Lillian.
Throw it in the trash. Burn it. Eat it.
Eat it fastest.
Lillian sees things that haven't happened yet.
Yeah.
But she only gets glimpses, and then you can connect them later.
Mm-hmm.
So when she said, right, she's not aware. When she said, don't save Agatha, that was supposed to go together.
That's
Jade, really?
That's great.
And when when they're all screaming, and she said, I hated this the first time. When we first meet her, and she's in her house, and she screams like that. That's what that is.
I have to watch the whole show over again.
Again. I guess I did.
I mean,
Jade said she watched it
3 times.
Jade said she watched it 3 times. I was like, 3 is excessive, and now I gotta go back.
Have been busy.
I've only done 2. Now I gotta go get my.
I've watched it 1 time, and we're just gonna. But I'm along for the ride. Like, I'm not gonna rewatch it until I get the last episode, and I know where I've been, and then I'm serving it.
Because you don't have to watch it a 3rd time.
Yeah,
right. Like, I got other things to do, man. It can't be.
That's true.
Do it.
I have several shows I haven't watched the first time yet that I still have on my list. So, yeah.
I know that's a whole different conversation. There's so many on the list. Supercell. Okay,
have not started the Penguin yet. We're talking about that
one. Oh my god.
Moving on. Episode 3. Did old boy kill Miss Hart?
I don't know who killed Miss Hart. Somebody did.
Did who?
Did Teen kill Miss Hart?
That's an interesting question. I don't know. He doesn't seem the killing type.
I think he killed her because
unless that we know of. Yeah, he could be doing many things.
Yes. I think he killed her. And I think it because he's digging the grave for Miss Hart.
Yeah.
And Agatha's leaning over the body and she says, I didn't know you had it in you. And she's looking at Teen. And Teen's like, ugh, and he keeps digging. And then we move on. I think Teen killed Miss Hart. We'll move on. I think he'll murder her. And I think
you're taking Agatha at her word. You're taking Agatha at her word.
As a reliable narrator.
She's the least reliable narrator we've ever seen.
I thought she was talking to Mrs. Hart.
Okay. Watch it for a 4th time and let me know what you think. I think she was talking to Teen. And I think he recognized it. And I think he's been doing subtle things, which when she comes back at episode 5 and is like, tells him she knows who he is, that's why he has to react. Because she's aware of like bigger pictures. That's my theory.
Oh, speaking of other people doing other things, when they're in the 70s and in the studio and he's thrown through the glass.
Yeah.
That was Rio. Rio did that to him because the demon wasn't affecting other people like that. The demon was causing them to,
burn, baby, burn.
Rio likes chaos and nothing was happening.
Interesting.
All right, Jay, we're gonna see about that
because that's the same thing that she did to Agatha. She threw her across the room. It was the same way.
Jay,
Same
that's
motion.
deep. That's
Was she
deep.
trying to activate Teen? Is that your?
I don't know what she was trying to do, but she was trying to.
Because he know more than he's saying. He know more.
Oh, he knows more than he's saying, but he may not be aware of the amount of power that he has.
I don't think there's impossible that in the moment of episode 5, he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna control these people. I'm gonna throw her in the thing,
that's
and then I'm gonna throw them in the thing, and then I'm gonna put my crown on. Nah,
I
he
think Agatha killing the other lady for her power may have been the thing that just activated him. Like, I can't believe you're this selfish. I've been with you for a couple weeks. I've been with you for a couple weeks, and this is how you treat people that are out here working for you? Okay, that's it. I'm done.
Well, he knew this about
my sense of he knew it, but he hadn't experienced it personally. It's one thing to know.
Her, like, yeah, look, I've researched you. I know so much about you. Like, I know you are a horrible person. I'm intrigued. Why?
So Marcus, yeah, you're taking him as naive and young and taking that at face value, and like he's working through some things. And I'm like, nah, he knows.
He knows.
Well, he definitely knows now.
Yeah.
I think he knows his power. He knows what he's doing. He's well aware of the situation and the role that he plays. He's in it for something else that we don't know yet. But he liked Alice. He connected with Alice.
I was going to say there might be some reason that they've connected, but he definitely liked her. Like,
they both lost their mamas. There's some things there.
Remember he said, I had my 13 was rough for me too.
Yeah.
So we'll see whether I think he's evil too.
I don't know. Agatha turned her into a corpse before she could scream. So yeah.
Say it again, Marcus.
Agatha turned Alice into a corpse before she could scream. So Teen may have felt the injustice.
Terrible.
Yeah. But I'm loving it. I think they're doing a great job with the character arcs. I think the story is fantastic. I'm intrigued. I want to know more. What about you guys? What's the overall feeling you give the season so far, the first half?
Let's hang up and watch it right now. What are we doing?
It's 8:00.
We're almost there. We're almost there, guys. Hold on a little longer.
100% the truth.
What are we doing?
Give it just a second.
We're
getting close.
We're gonna watch it together.
Hilarious. Okay, let's close. Let's talk about prediction. What's one prediction you want to make about what might come up? Who's your favorite character? And then rate the first half of the season 1 to 5. Okay,
I don't want no points. No 0.5. 0.75. This whole number.
Okay. 76. Stay strong in the struggle. Keep it real. Jay, prediction. What's your you can do like maybe next episode prediction or your season prediction.
Well, Tony Bagels mentioned Mephisto. I feel like Mephisto is going to be a factor in the show. I don't exactly know how though.
But they said the name.
They did.
They did.
They did. Jennifer said it. Did Jennifer say it?
Did.
Yeah.
One of them said it. I heard it.
Okay. So that's your season prediction. Favorite character?
My cousin Jennifer.
Obviously,
she's a real and because when she said that she was an 11th generation root worker and a midwife, I was like, I knew it. I knew it.
I was gonna say, so the actress, I want to say her name is Fair. The actress was doing a interview, and someone asked her, "How did it feel having to say?" Or they were talking about it, but tell Patti LuPone she was a little flat in the song, and I was like, that was probably an awkward moment. But anyway, all right, JD. Okay, so favorite character prediction. We'll come back. You're gonna rate the season. That'll be our last thing. Stephanie, predictions for the season or next episode. Favorite character.
Don't desire any predictions. I just want to enjoy it and watch it episode for episode. Like, I don't care where we go. I'm happy.
Okay, you're like, I'm here.
Jennifer is my favorite. But Auntie Patty is just serving up so much. And like, there's just some grown woman something that I'm just like really obsessed with. So
Yes.
the
Yeah.
ensemble as a whole, like, can I just say the ensemble? The ensemble is giving. I love them.
Yes, I do enjoy like the little characters. Yeah. All right, Marcus, predictions and favorite character.
I'm just saying that crown on teen looks awfully familiar. So I don't need to make any predictions on that one.
Okay.
Favorite character? I love Aubrey Plaza and everything. I mean, I've loved Aubrey Plaza ever since Scott Pilgrim, and then I'm just like, okay, I will follow you. Let's go.
Yes.
But
thank you.
Also, like, I had no idea who Patti LuPone was, so my brother informed me.
Yes, he
in
did.
many words. I was like, oh, okay, okay.
Yes,
and then we ended up watching Patti LuPone and Aubrey Plaza like eating hot wings and interviewing each other, and it is hilarious. And you should watch it immediately.
Oh, put it on the list.
You should watch it immediately.
Okay.
I did go back to hear Patti LuPone sing. Her voice is
she can sing
phenomenal.
I love her.
Yeah.
I mean, the cast and crew is, is just outrageous. Predictions for me, I do want to predict they all make it to the end of the road. I don't know. I'm just going with it. I
predict there will be a third song, because you don't hire Patti LuPone and be like, yeah, we got you, we're good. That's it. We don't need for anything else.
Yeah, sing the background vocals.
I trained on the Zills.
Yeah. I was reading something. They said if you watch the episode, every time they cut to her character, she's playing a different instrument. Which, again, this show is so unserious.
It's great.
It's just so silly. And then, yes, I'm predicting and maybe wishful thinking that they all make it to the end of the road. My favorite character is Agatha, because I want to be sympathetic. I love her. I hope she has a redemption arc, but not all the way to good. Just not as bad. All right.
She does consistently make me laugh when she's doing something particularly evil.
Yeah,
like that don't even make no sense. You just doing
like,
that.
You know who I am. Why are you expecting more from me?
You really should.
Yeah, that's really like, she's like, actually, it's on you, because I told you who I was, and I have not strayed from that.
Like, she keeps telling them the truth, and they keep being like,
but we're sisterhood. She's like, I never said that to you.
Except for Aubrey.
Oh gosh. All right, so everyone, let's rate our episode. Our season, our half season. Jade, scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being masterpiece.
I'm gonna say 5.
5. The show is on right now. Like 5.
Yeah, that's
I agree. 5. This is random that we are all on the same page and all agree. But all right, well, that is the conclusion of our show. Join us in 2 weeks. Our next episode will be on October 30th, and we'll be discussing the first 5 episodes of The Penguin. If you haven't started it, start it now, streaming on HBO. It's intense. The Penguin is barely a Batman show so far. It's more a gangster film. So if you're not, highly recommend so far. Me and my dad are watching together, and it's fantastic. Jay, do you have any house announcements you want us? Nap night coming up?
There is a nap night coming up. It's at the end of the month, the last Sunday of the month, and I don't remember what day that is.
Okay.
The 27th?
Make sure
27th. Yeah.
Feels good.
Again, I'm tired.
Yes, but be sure to join us in supporting the house in all of our events, and we'll see you in 2 weeks with The Penguin under your belt. Bye, everybody.
Okay, let me say one thing before I end the stream, because I'm going to end it, but StreamYard is doing something different. So I'm going to click the end stream, and I don't know what's going to happen with the outro. It might just cut off completely, or it might do a full 30 seconds of the song. I don't know. But thank you very much.
We'll see it in 2 weeks, October 30th. Happy October, everyone.